Now let's turn our attention to the Korean Peninsula. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Seoul. He is there to participate in a summit for democracy. Now, this is the third such summit. The first was held in 2021. These summits are U.S. President Joe Biden's pet project. He had promised to establish them during his presidential campaign in 2020. The first two summits were held online. This is the third summit, and South Korea is going out of its way to ensure that it's a success. Fervent media coverage, grand speeches, especially about the dangers of technology.
As authoritarian and repressive regimes deploy technologies to undermine democracy and human rights, we need to ensure that technology sustains and supports democratic values and norms.
Blinken says the U.S. will roll out guidelines for tech companies to help them curb attacks on human rights defenders.
Today, we're releasing first-of-its-kind guidance to give technology companies the tools to help prevent, mitigate, and seek justice for attacks on human rights defenders online. We're protecting access to a free and open internet.
But amid these speeches and the fanfare in Seoul, another spectacle is taking place on the Korean Peninsula, courtesy Kim Jong Un. North Korean state media has released this footage. It shows a leather jacket-wearing Kim directing a missile test. They're calling them super large rocket launcher drills, and Kim seems to be calling the shots here. The footage shows 6 missiles being fired simultaneously, like a lethal choreographed fireworks display. Photographs show an overjoyed Kim Jong Un pointing excitedly at where the missiles landed. He's clearly enjoying this. And North Korea often does this. They keep launching rockets to irk the South. They launched some missiles over the weekend as well. What better time than when Blinken is in town, right? It's an insult to both the South and its biggest ally, the U.S. Clearly, Kim enjoys riling up his opponents. And not just with missile tests, in other ways too. The Summit for Democracy is for criticizing authoritarians. So what does Kim do? He releases a video of himself driving around in a Russian limousine, a gift from Russian President Vladimir Putin. The North Korean leader's sister, Kim Yo-jong, said that this was a statement. She said it was clear proof that the Russia-North Korea friendship was reaching new heights. Not exactly the news the Democracy Summit attendees want to hear. South Korea is bristling at Kim's antics.
We welcome dialogue with North Korea, but our government maintains a firm policy of holding North Korea accountable if it makes a wrong decision.
Another Western ally in the region is also fuming, and that's Japan. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida was clearly annoyed because the weekend missiles landed close to Japan's waters.
We will do our utmost to collect and analyze information as well as monitor the situation and work closely with the United States and South Korea.
So the Triple Alliance is planning to crack down on North Korea. But after a point, they have to realize that they're not making any real difference. The allies keep engaging in military drills, regular shows of force, and Kim just responds by launching more missiles. It's a waste of taxpayer money, really. And pointless, because Kim is not going to back down. They should either find an effective way to subdue him or stop with the fist shaking, because their current approach is clearly not working, and no amount of democracy summits can cover up that failure.